My name is Lindsay Harpham. I am originally from Saskatchewan. I now live between Saskatchewan and Toronto, and I am a dancer, choreographer, and dance teacher. I've been dancing for my entire life. I started dancing when I was 3, and then I started training professionally when I graduated at 18. So I've had about 8 years of post-secondary training and experience in the industry. I've been coaching since I was 15 in Tisdale, Saskatchewan, and so I guess a little over 10 years now. I wanted to start teaching dance, especially as an adult, because I wanted to create spaces that were encouraging to dancers and safe.
Lindsay's awesome about that, whether it's me or any other dancer, but having someone or a choreographer that's willing to take questions or change things to best suit your body is also really important, which she really works on. So it's definitely a safe space with her.
There's a lot of unsafe environments in dance, I think, and I've been a part of some of them. And I'd like to be the person at the head of the room that can kind of shape what that environment is like. That's been a large motivating factor. My process when coming up with a dance routine is varied depending on the project. I find that sometimes it's a movement that'll inspire me first, or it's a piece of music, or it's maybe some script or a poem. So it always changes the order in which I do things. That's kind of also been a learning process because every process is so different. Challenges when working with different dancers. The fact that different bodies move very differently, and certain movements that I'll do on one body really does not work on another. And I find it really encouraging as a dancer if a choreographer is willing to understand that, yes, I can try for certain movements many times, but certain movements won't look the same on me as they do on them. So doing that as a choreographer is really important to me as well. I find that every dancer has a very different movement quality. Also, every dancer is a very different person usually, so they're bringing different expressions and backstories and inspirations to their art and their movement qualities. So it's interesting the things that you actually get inspired by from their movement. I find that I like looking at other art forms, so I really like reading and different poems and music and things like that to kind of spark a phrase or a certain movement. But I also really like being in nature. I think that I've really prioritized being in Saskatchewan, especially in the summer months when it's nice and warm, and I'll go to the lake and be in nature, and I find that that's really inspirational for movement. Currently, I choreographed a dance show. It's online. It's called Behind Us, and that was a really rewarding experience because it was definitely a risk personally, and I think that's why I enjoyed choreographing it so much, because it was challenging, but in a very good way. I think that it was also enjoyable but challenging for me to work through that routine because it was so personal to my life. Recently, I feel like in sharing stories, you have to be pretty specific so that people actually can relate to what you're sharing. So that made the whole choreographic process to be a little bit more challenging and emotional, but it was rewarding in that way.
She has really developed herself as a choreographer and a dancer. I definitely see her in the dance industry for probably the rest of her life. Career-wise, either dancing on tours with contracts and companies or teaching here. She's been teaching here for about a year or two now, or in Toronto. But yeah, I see her definitely do these projects in Saskatchewan. She's trying to get a lot of Saskatchewan dancers work, so I can see her going in that route as well.
I love dancing because it is the most vulnerable and expressive that I can be, and it feels the most natural compared to speaking or any kind of other art form.
Are you an artist who's interested in appearing on maxTV Local? Email us at max.local@sastel.com.